Greetings, artists. Mrs. Schmitt here. I wanted to share with you about art about friendship. I know this week that you're talking about friends with your other studies, and so art has some great examples of paintings and artwork that celebrate friendship. Let's take a look at this one. This is called The Luncheon of the Boating Party, and it was created in 1881 by Pierre-Auguste Renoir, who was a French Impressionist painter. Impressionism is often known for its loose brushstrokes, capturing everyday kind of scenes. Often you'll see lots of landscapes, but you also see people just kind of doing day-to-day things. And in this case, we get to see a party going on. And to be honest, it's a party that adults would really like. There's food and drinks and lots of conversation. I know my kids are often saying, "Oh, Mom, adults just like to talk all the time." Where I know that maybe you as kids would prefer to do something else at a party. What kinds of things would you like to do with your friends at a party? Think about it. Next, friends often play games together. So let's take a look at these two paintings by French artist Paul Cézanne. He also was an Impressionist painter, but his work looks very different than Renoir's, who we just saw last. So we see the card players. We see an image here created in 1892 where we have, it looks like 5 different figures all engaged, kind of whether they're playing or watching the game go on. In addition, Paul Cézanne did kind of a series of paintings, meaning more than one, about a certain topic or scene. And so he created this painting here, The Card Players, with the 2 men in 1895. Now, what kinds of games do you like to play with your friends? I know for me, I love to play card games and board games that bring out laughter, that allow me to get to know people better, and are just really fun games that involve a lot of people. What kind of games do you like to play with your friends? Next, friends often share things. So let's look at this painting by this Russian artist called Friends Under the Rain. This painting has a very different quality to it. Usually we think of rain as kind of dreary and dark, but in this painting, it's colorful. And yet we can tell it's rain coming down. These areas of color kind of create that feeling of falling rain. Obviously, the girls are sharing an umbrella. And obviously from the title, we can tell that it has to do with a rain. But the joy of this painting is kind of expressed through the color. Friends can count on each other to share. And in this case, they definitely need to share or else they're going to get soaked. So what do you like to share with your friends? Maybe you share a snack with your friends or toys, or maybe you share a picture. I often love to share photographs I take with my friends, recipes. Sometimes I send them a note. Ooh, what kinds of activities do you like to do with your friends? We see a bunch of boys here playing a game called Snap the Whip. This painting was created by an American artist a long time ago in 1872. His name is Winslow Homer. And this was a popular game long ago, but it's still played today. It's called Snap the Whip, or sometimes called Crack the Whip. And basically what happens is somebody on one end is kind of like controlling the whip, and they swing the other people that are all holding hands around. They pull the others around and try to create curves and turns, so that way if you're at the end of the whip, like this boy who's falling off over here, you get disconnected and the whip gets shorter. It's a very fun and active game, and certainly Winslow Homer has shown that in this activity in his painting. We see the running feet, we see the pull and the strain of trying to create enough force to have somebody fall off. And of course, we see the boy falling to the ground here. Certainly, this might remind you of things that you like to do with your friends. Why don't you think about that right now? Here are some other paintings that have a very different feel than the last one we just looked at, and yet we can tell they're still about friends. So looking here, we see two paintings by the same artist. The artist is a French artist named Émile Vernon, and these were painted quite a long time ago as well, in 1917. This one is called New Friends, and it's referring to the friendship that we often have with our pets. Certainly, it looks like this girl has a new puppy and a new kitten. They are friends maybe with her, and maybe they'll be friends with each other too, the two animals. But certainly, I bet you may have a furry friend that means a lot to you. How do you show that friend that you love him or her? In addition, we see a painting with three girls here who are obviously friends. It's called The Best of Friends, and shows the girls it almost looks like posing for a picture or giving a hug. How do you show your friends that you care about them? I know for me, I often maybe give them a call on the phone to talk or invite them over. Sometimes I'll send them a note. Maybe I give them a hug. Maybe you give a high five. So there are a lot of ways that we can tell our friends that you care for them. Now, we have gone through a period of time where we've been missing our friends. Since we've had to be home, staying at home during the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. And so you haven't had a chance to be with a lot of your friends. I'm sure you've missed them very much. Well, I found this really neat poem, and it shows two friends that are easily recognizable, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. The poem says, "If there ever comes a day when we can't be together, keep me in your heart and I'll stay there forever." So I'm sure you've been thinking about your friends and missing them. What friends have you really missed being with lately? For our art activity, we're going to create it obviously about friends. I want you to think about that friend that you've really missed and that is special to you over the past few months. Number 2, create a drawing, a painting, or a collage showing the two of you together. Consider showing yourselves doing one of your favorite activities. And number 3, you may want to take that special drawing and with a parent's help, send it to your very special friend as a wonderful surprise. I don't know about you, but my kids love to get mail. It's not very often that you get a card or a letter in the mail. And so just imagine how much that friend that you've been missing would love to get a picture from you in the mail. So please consider sharing that special artwork with a friend. Now, I'm going to create an artwork for my friend that I'm going to send to her. So I figured you might like to see what I do.